Hi, everybody. Coach Martha here from Inspire Weight Loss, and I am super excited for this segment of Inspire Forward. We are here with Lorena Rodriguez.
Hi, everyone.
Super excited to have her on here because she is her story is amazing. She is an Inspire client. Her story, I can tell you, that has inspired many, many, many. I have her on the wall in the office. So I want to give Lorena a moment to introduce herself, share about your journey, Lorena, at Inspire, your health journey, and also what you're doing with your life currently. So go for it.
Awesome. So, hi, everyone. My name is Lorena. I'm actually right now a fourth year medical student, soon to be graduating and going into residency. So nerve-wracking. But to tell you a little bit about my story, I pretty much struggled with weight my whole entire life. And back when I was in my undergrad, doing my undergrad degree, I gained maybe like 20, 30 pounds. I was at my heaviest back then, about 220. And something struck me. And I was like, you know what? Like, I need to lose weight. And so I got on it. I was eating healthy, exercising, lost about 30 pounds. I was back to like my typical normal weight, which is usually being around 180. And life was good. I was feeling great. But of course, I lost control of myself again. And eventually I got into medical school and I kept using medical school as my excuse as to why I was gaining weight. I was like, oh my God, I'm always busy and I don't have time to cook. Let me order out. And when it came to ordering out, it wasn't ordering out a salad or something that was in the healthy side, it was always Chick-fil-A or Chipotle and it wasn't just ordering out like the one time a day. It was like literally like lunch and dinner. And let's not talk about portions.
Too.
Say it again.
It gets expensive too.
Oh, horribly expensive. I don't even want to get to that. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But long story short, I got to my third year of medical school. So we're talking about a year and a half ago or so. And I was just not feeling myself. I couldn't go up a flight of stairs without being short of breath. I it wasn't me. My clothes wasn't fitting, and like the way I solved that problem for the last few years before I actually realized what was happening was by buying bigger clothes. So I never I saw the problem, but my solution wasn't the best. And
But
what
buying
really
those leggings, yoga
yeah,
pants that stretch.
yes, or I would just buy clothes that was just like big enough to fit now, but big enough that if I gain weight, I will still fit in it. So I didn't have to go back and buy a new one. It was just the worst solution that I had ever found at that point in time. But honestly, what really, really struck me is back in October 20, what are we now? We're 2021. So October 2019, I took a trip to Colorado for a conference. And as I was sitting on the airplane seat, I realized how uncomfortable I was. I just couldn't fit between the two armrests. I had to like pull up the armrest. And unfortunately, that wasn't an option because I had a stranger next to me. So with that being said, like I'm sure a stranger didn't want the armrest up and be next to me like that. So literally the armrest was just like sitting like this in the middle of the two of us because it just wouldn't go down because I just didn't fit in the seat. And on top of that, the seatbelt, I never saw a day in which I will have to ask for the expander. You know how you can ask for expander. And thank God I didn't. But it was just at that point in which like it was just so tight on me. Um, I just was just uncomfortable. So I came back from that trip after that conference and I realized I just needed to make a change. I needed to get on it. I needed to work on something. And so at that point in time, I started doing a keto diet. I was like, okay, I heard of the keto diet. You can still enjoy certain things that are, pleasurable, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Though they're not quoted as healthy, but it will help me lose weight, hopefully. I started exercising. And I did see some changes, but it wasn't enough for me. I wasn't seeing the change that I wanted. I wasn't being as consistent as I needed. And so eventually, that November, towards the end of November, December of that year, I came across Martha through a friend. And that was literally it for me. Like it gave me the boost and the motivation and the support that I needed to actually carry on a diet and actually be consistent with it and understanding what I was eating actually. So here I am now. I went from 259 at that point in time to currently at 206. Yeah. So there's more of a story back there.
That's huge. And Lorena, so your life as far as like schooling and all that didn't change. I mean, you're still equally or maybe even more busy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, that's correct. I was actually my third year and like the end of my fourth year was, I mean, the beginning of my fourth was like super stressful for me, even more so than second and first year, because now I'm actually going through to rotation, which is kind of like going to an 8 to 5 job on a daily basis. And sometimes it's not even 8 to 5, we're talking about 10, 12 hours a day. And then I have to come home and study for our examinations that are still going on concurrently. So at the end of the day, I was doing kind of like juggling a full-time job with actually studying versus my first, second year of med school. I was just studying all the time.
Right.
With that being said, like it took some planning from my end. It took more organization on my end to be able to stick to my diet.
So my point with that is that, you know, you're busy because of, you know, schooling and your goal, your career goals and all that. You know, somebody else can be busy because they have children and they have
Correct.
a husband and they have, you know, they have a full-time job and have that. So busy is busy,
Mm-hmm.
but you decide how that busy is going to affect your life and what choices that you make. So your busyness didn't go away, but what happened was that you gave yourself a chance, you
Mm-hmm.
invested in yourself, you focused on what you needed to do, you made the changes that you needed to make, you implemented things that might have been hard, you know, meal planning, cooking, whatever, you know, learning about different foods that are going to be are going to provide life into you,
Yes.
right?
Yep. That's
So then you can help heal others, right?
yep.
um
That was actually one of my motivations. The
yeah,
fact that
I remember.
I how can I tell my patient, hey, you need to lose weight when I'm eating bad, when I'm actually need to lose weight myself, you know? So that was definitely a motivation for me as well.
Yeah. So, and that's amazing. Honestly, it's amazing. I mean, I can't wait for you to have your practice because I'm signing up to be your
Thank
patient.
you.
But the point is that, you know, it's a choice at the end of
Yes,
the day. You know,
absolutely.
it's a choice if you're going to you know, call or order from Chick-fil-A versus, you know, maybe going across the street to Whole Foods and maybe getting still prepared foods, but of a higher quality,
Mhm.
you know, that's going to help you with your health journey. It's at the end of the day, doesn't matter how busy you are, how busy people are, you know, it's a choice.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things, and now they're saying that it's a choice, and this actually take me back to when you actually taught me how it's all about alternatives. So you could still enjoy really good things, believe it or not. Like I eat chicken wings, but my chicken wings are bought and like from the grocery store. So I season them myself. I put whatever I want in it myself, and then I put it in the air fryer. So they're not getting fried and
Mhm.
not eating the skin, but they still taste great because I'm seasoning the way I want it. So like eating healthy doesn't mean that you gotta eat boring food that tastes like nothing. It just means that you're making better selection. You're not eating as much fat, as much sugars. You're finding healthier alternatives. We all like to eat ranch with our chicken wings. So I remember you told me about a little bit of cottage cheese with the ranch powder, and that for me was like game changer. It kind of does the same job. It tastes great, and I'm eating healthier. So I'm accomplishing my health goals at the same time. So I completely agree with you.
I love that. I love that. And listen, and now, you know, that's why it's called Inspire Forward, because, you know, I have my own personal health journey that caused me to open Inspire Weight Loss, and I wanted to pay it forward. And now we have um, Inspire clients that now are paying it forward. And look, I get chills. I literally, that for me is like worth everything, everything. I want to share. Can I just share something? I'm gonna,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put you out there.
Oh God. Putting me on the spot.
Is that amazing? So
Yes.
this was a while ago, actually. It was
Yes.
because you're at what, 53 pounds? Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a while ago. So amazing. I hope that was okay, but
No, that's totally fine. I don't mind it.
you're on my wall. So
No, if it helps somebody get inspired, I'm all about it.
amazing. Look, I want to thank you for coming on, and I really, really hope that this inspires tons of people to start their journey. You are too young to be out of breath going up the stairs.
Absolutely.
Lorena,
Yeah.
you are too young. And listen, that age is not right now. It's not a respecter of being unhealthy. I mean, I had a 23-year-old the other day that already has hypertension. I'm like,
Wow.
what in the world, And it's like, I look at them like they're my children, because my children are, I have, my son is 23, and I'm like, our food source right now is not the best quality. And then we make our choices. And so we're seeing that chronic disease is coming through to younger and younger people. So I
Mhm.
want to thank you for that. So Lorena, this is what I want to do. Thank you for coming on. We are going to come back because we want to talk about food addiction. So we're going to finish this segment here, Inspire Forward. Thank you, Lorena. Thank you. Thank you
Always, always a pleasure.
for being on here. And we're going to see you real, real soon.
Sounds great. Thank you, Malta.